Okay, hi, Tony's right. I'm doing the batch for the ones that are coming out on the 4th. So I did one already. There's one already in there. And this one is about this one is about me getting my library card. So I got my library card. I went to the main library in my city, the central one, and because I walked in to ask them about placing my book in the library, and I just wanted to know what that process was like. And I don't know, homegirl was like, I don't know if she was picking up what I was putting down, but it just seemed like she was like, oh yeah, if you want to donate. And I think I may have said donate before, but I meant like actually like gift to the thing to actually be in the collection. So like we got it together, but homegirl at first, I was like, girl, what? So yeah, she told me the process, and I went online and it looked pretty simple. So I'm gonna go and just do that. So the goal is to, once I get the ISBN onto my book, it currently doesn't have it, my thesis book, I will request that it be taken into consideration to put in libraries. And the goal is to put it into all of the libraries for my city, because it's not that many. It's like 20 of them, which is not, you know what I'm saying? That's not a huge task for me. I was going to do a second run anyway. And so if I do this like second run, it'll probably be more books so that I can go to actual like vending events and sell the book. But yeah, it was already a plan for me to begin with, to start the process of getting the book into the library and whatnot. So looked at that process, and then I did my poetry talk with 2 other members of my university. Someone on our like Facebook reached out and wanted to have a poetry panel. That was their kind of like community event that they were doing, and I said, sure, I'll do it. And we had to prepare like a mini lesson and stuff like that. So I of course chose ekphrastic poetry because that's my baby in terms of topic. And I showed up at the event with my other 2 cohort members for this event and talked about ekphrastic poetry, and we led like workshops, and it was really lovely to interact with the mostly like tween crowd, which is a really big development crowd, a really big crowd for development in terms of like they're at the age where like you can still interest them with things like this. They're not too cool for school just yet. They're still willing to listen to you, and they still have an enthusiasm, I think, for learning environments. It's when they become like actual teenagers that they just like this, like, I don't care about this no more. Like, this is not, I'm interested in anything else other than this. So it was still kind of like cool and cute to have like kids that were like, can I do this? Can I do that? And it's like that childlike wonder was there. So I really appreciated that. But I decided to go to my local library, or my city library, and reactivate or get a new card. And then I had a bill on there for some reason. And I know why it was on there, because I put in a book kind of late, and then I kept getting things like, you didn't put it in, you didn't return it. I'm like, I definitely returned this junk. Like, this was like one of the first books I returned. Like, I know I did. I mean, it's like somewhere in my house, but yeah, I like returned that book, and then they still had that junk on my account. So she like took it off or whatever, because without her taking it off, I wasn't going to be able to check out books. And I was like, damn, like what? So once that got taken off, of course I got some books. So went there to like answer those questions about how to get myself into the library and stuff like that. And then just walked around to see, because I haven't been to the like central library in like a while. I haven't been to most of the library in general in years. I just, you know, but I got 3 books, and I guess I'm diverting my path to these 3 books, and I may finish them, I may not, I may, you know, it's one of them things where like you just decide to stop reading because you just don't care no more. That's where I am. Like if I feel that way, I will stop reading. I generally do. So this is one of the 2 books that are poetry books that I got. And so this one is Scratching the Ghost by Dexter L. Booth, winner of the Cave Canem Poetry Prize. It was selected by Major Jackson. Okay. I hate when they do like blurbs and not like the real description of the book. I hate that. I'm so sorry. Like, I do. I do. But yeah, about the writer, this is also published by Grey Wolf Press. So that's something you should know when you start to look at like poetry books. If you want to learn where to submit, start looking at the back of some of these books, because a lot of these places also have competitions and they take in submissions for manuscripts and stuff like that. And I think I'll probably do a separate video on things like that. But these are those things. Anyway. So, about the poet Dexter L. Booth, earned his MFA Creative Writing from the Arizona State University, and then his poems have appeared in Amendment, Grist, the New Delta Review, the Virginia Quarterly Review, and Willow Springs, and he lives in Tempe, Arizona. I'm sorry. It's like, I really like the artwork, and this like kind of grabbed me a lot. Cave Canem is a group of Black poets. Every year they have prizes for like poetry and fiction and things like that. And it's a really interesting group, and I probably will do a series on the Cave Canem kind of winners, maybe like a series. I'm reading their collections and my thoughts and blah blah blah. Anyway, next one is Dan Beachy Quick, Variations on Dawn and Dusk, and this is printed by Omnidon. And then so we have that. Really nice. So they also did these blurbs. Like, God, I'm sorry. Like, I do get annoyed by stuff like that. I do. I like blurbs. I like real blurbs, not people like praising the book. Like, I want real blurbs. But the cool thing about this person is that they have prose and poetry, and they have collaborations as well. And this is a really short one. This is chapbook length. This is under 50 pages. It's 44 pages. And it's pretty airy in terms of like poems. So it's like, it's a lot of space on the page. But Dan Beachy Quick is a poet, an essayist, author most recently of a collection of reveries, fragments, and poems of silence and song. He has published 6 books of poetry, a number of collections of literary meditations. He is the assistant chair of the English department at Colorado State University, where he is a university distinguished teaching scholar and has served as a Montfort professor. His work has been supported by the Lannan Foundation, and he is a Guggenheim Fellow. So there's that. And then the last book is more like just talking about books, not necessarily craft, but it's called The Lost Art of Reading, Why Books Matter in a Distracted Time, David L. Ulin. And so I'll read the actual blurb for this one. Reading is a revolutionary act. The siren calls of email, Twitter, smartphones, now X for Twitter, smartphones and iPods, now just like Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, conspire to pull us away from the long-form writing of books. For David L. Ulin, this swelling problem from which he is hardly immune begged the question, does reading even matter anymore? Ulin's answer can be found in this ruminative essay, a blend of memoir and criticism that explores the effects of a life of reading. He finds the superconnected digital world to be illusory and oddly demanding that we disengage, particularly from the rapturous immersion that a good book requires of its reader. Can we afford to forego the memory, cognition, and sense of narrative derived from books? Ulin recommends the art of reading. Whether the medium is ink on paper or digital type, it's the immersion that matters. The simple act of reading is one we can no longer take for granted. The lost art of reading is stirring call to arms, or rather to pages. David L. Ulin is a book critic of the Los Angeles Times and the author or editor of several books, including The Myth of Solid Gold, and he lives in Los Angeles. This is published through Sasquatch Books. So those are the three that I have. Really excited to get back into the library thing. I might do the other system of books. So yeah, decided to do that. Picked up one of the technology training pamphlets. I need to get my ass over there and learn. I'm not the best at the Microsoft suites. And when I say Microsoft suite, I really mean Excel. I just never got on with Excel, and also I just wasn't in a major that needed Excel at the time that I was doing it, so I probably will do that. But there's so many benefits to a library card. My library has access to movies and music, and you can do community classes, and there's fellowships that you can take that it can help you in your career, you can lead stuff, and there was a rare book collection thing that I couldn't go to. I was so mad because it was for poetry book sale. So mad. And then workshops and things like that. You can propose them, and as I said in the previous video, looking to place my books in the library system as well as a way to give back to community. So yeah, I'm excited that I got a new library card. Let's see how this goes. Definitely trying to make sure I return these books because I don't have time to have fees on me messing my life up. I don't have time. So anyway, thanks for watching. I will talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye.